Hey, what's going on, everyone? John Casco here, another episode of 60 Day Dude. A little extreme grocery shop today. So for day 1 through 3, I'm going to be following the same meal, and that includes everything from, as you can see here, some romaine lettuce, all the way to pork chops, cherry tomatoes, some cheese, and also sour cream. A lot of recipes have been put together on the Atkins website for you to start with for the induction phase, which is the most strict phase. So I'm going to experiment a little bit with some cooking and try to follow all these to the T. I've been pretty much going around the outside of the grocery store, which is what they say the more natural and healthy part, which is kind of cool and exciting that Atkins follows that. Hey everyone, what's going on? Just made it home from shopping out at Giant. Got all the groceries I need for the next 3 days, which is going to be pretty cool. So, just give you a little breakdown of what I got here. Starting off eggs. Got 36 of them, and that should hit me with at least every breakfast, and I believe it's including the snack that I have posted. Put those in real quick. Next, load up on lettuce. Gotta have the leafy greens. Once again, Atkins is very heavy on including vegetables and not so much on fruits. At the early stage, at least, fruits don't get added into the diet until phase 2 when the carbs start to increase on a weekly basis. So toss these in next. That wasn't good. Just broke my fridge. Lettuce away. Tomatoes, key essential, plenty of nutrients in there. So, what do we have next? It looks like my fat intake is going to be right here in one hand, starting with some light mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, breaking it down based on the nutrition facts, is high in polyunsaturated fats, probably because I went with the light mayo, and which cuts out a lot of the saturated fat. Usually fine. 3.5 grams of total fat, 2 polyunsaturated, 1 monounsaturated. That's actually pretty good. 3 to 3.5 of total fat, and 3 that is actually good for you. So I'm going to put this in the cupboard. It's not even open. Next, I got my sharp cheddar cheese. Looking at the nutrition facts, no carbohydrates, 5 grams of protein, 4.5 total fat, 2.5 of that is saturated fat, but what do you expect with cheese? This is going to be only limited based on the recipes that I have, so I'm going to be having a couple slices a day, if that. Next, crumbled blue cheese, 100 calories per serving, 8 grams of fat, 5 of that is saturated. Once again, pretty limited in the amount that's going to be in the recipes I'm using. Only less than 1 gram of carbohydrates per serving, 7 grams of protein, which is pretty good. So I wouldn't call that lean, but it's definitely high in protein, which is great for the Atkins diet induction phase. Next we have sour cream. This is not light, it's full fat. 5 grams total fat, 3.5 saturated fat, not great. But once again, not going to be using a large quantity, especially considering it has 2 grams of carbohydrates per serving. Avocados. So my favorite food. The key essentially guacamole, which is one of my favorite things to eat. Loaded up on lettuce and cucumbers, super cheap by the way, and full of nutrients once again. I've never grocery shopped like this before. More leafy greens coming. Some cabbage, full of nutrients. Awesome. Once again, all these vegetables you're seeing me put in one at a time, they don't have a lot of carbohydrates in them. They're pretty light in carbs. They're more so heavy for the fact of fiber and nutrients. Last couple things we got here. Some sweet cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, and also mushrooms. Pure protein and carb. So it's not pure protein, I apologize. 2 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs. One of those is fiber, so very, very low in carbs and probably slow digesting, I'm assuming. Finishing up here, we have olives, one of my favorites. High in monounsaturated fats, 1.5 grams out of 2.5 is monounsaturated, and 1 gram of carbs. That's not too bad. Put that away. And to finish out, we have plenty of pork chops, a little high in saturated fat, but not bad at all. Very, very high in protein. Not super lean, but not exactly a fatty steak by any means. And the last 2 we have are ahi tuna steaks. And they are going to be high in our mono and polyunsaturated fats. A little bit of saturated fat. Not bad though. Plenty of protein to go around. And you'll see me first thing in the morning when I wake up bright and early to cook, I believe, some eggs, have some avocado, and get my day started right. Excited for day 1 Atkins here coming up. Got 60 days to go.